Welcome to Broad Strokes, Fortune show where we talk about the news that matters to women. So this week, we're talking about the election. What else could we be talking about? Donald Trump shocked everyone when he won the presidential election. And now we're all trying to unpack what happened, what we missed, and particularly, I think it'd be interesting to talk about the women's vote. So this is something people basically thought Hillary Clinton had it locked up. So what happened?
Women are swing voters, it turns out. Everyone else is not a swing voter. Women are swing voters, but particularly white women. African-American women, 95% for Clinton. All other minority women, 81% for Clinton. White women went for Trump, but not by much. And then in that division, it broke down between college-educated white women who voted for Clinton and non-college-educated white women who voted with non-college-educated white men who overwhelmingly voted for Trump.
People were expecting Donald Trump to win the men's vote, but Hillary Clinton had a 13% gender gap, which is basically just how many women versus how many men voted for her. And this is the largest gender gap in history. So I think we saw that, she wasn't able to get the men's vote and she wasn't able to get enough women.
Yeah.
There's the question of what happens now. What does this mean for women? What kind of policies are you going to put in place? I think that American women are wondering, what does this mean for me?
Yes, and that is a really good question because there are a lot of questions about how Donald Trump is going to govern because he has held so many different positions over the course of his public life and campaign. He was for abortion before he was against it. So because of that, I think it's interesting to look at the people who he listens to. One of those people is probably Mike Pence, who is very vocal about how women should not be having abortions, how abortions should be illegal. But on the other hand, you have Ivanka Trump, who he clearly also listens to, who is talking a lot about women in the workplace and making their lives easier.
I think if there is a silver lining as far as potential policies, it would be things like paid parental leave. Trump came out on the campaign trail and said, he wouldn't put in place a 6-week policy for paid maternity leave. There's some problems with this plan, honestly, but right now in our country, there is no law requiring employers to pay women when they're out having children. And this would really be a step forward if he were able to follow through on that and get it passed.
The other silver lining, I think, from Tuesday is that a lot of other women were elected. In the Senate, the number of minority women quadrupled. Sounds great. It's a little less great when you look at that the number quadrupled from 1, but it's still good news.
Baby steps, I guess. I just want to mention particularly Catherine Cortez Masto. She won in Nevada. She's the first Latina to go to the Senate. Kamala Harris in California, she's the second African-American woman. And then in Illinois, Tammy Duckworth, who is an Iraq veteran, she's actually going to be the first Thai American in the Senate.
Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, but had she just done a little bit better, I think you would have seen so many more stories like this. In countries with a woman at the top of government, you have a lot of other women who are running and winning, and now I feel like it's possible you won't see as many of those stories.
Yeah, I think that's true, but I think the other way to look at this is that by electing women to the Senate, to the House, that's how you get the next woman who's going to run for president. She's probably going to be someone who's coming up through the ranks right now. So I think as we look ahead, think about what's going to happen for women in politics in the future, this is something positive. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have on Broad Strokes this week. Come back next Friday for another episode on Fortune.com.